Hello, I am Swati Verma, Assistant Professor, Chhattisgarh Swami Vivekanand Technical University, CSU Bhilai. I welcome you all to the course on Industrial Automation and Drives. Today we will start our 30th lecture on this course with the title SCADA Programming Part 2. In the previous lecture, we have discussed the basic SCADA programming for the switch and lamp, the program for logic gates and vertical and horizontal movement program. Under these topics, we have covered how you can add the components, various components of the industrial process on your development window, means how you can add the switch, how you can add the lamp or the slider function there, and how you can interface them or how you can interconnect them, so that while changing the input side you can see the changes in the output. We also learned how to set the properties of the development window or the various components. Okay. Then we have discussed the how you can program or how you can create the expression for the logic gates. All logic gates we have covered, first starting with the basic and or NOT. Then we have also covered the NAND gate, NOT gate, NOR gate, XOR gate and XNOR gate. At the last we have covered how we can move any object in a vertical position. We have taken an example of a ball and a slider. So, while changing the position of slider, we can control the motion of the ball in the vertical direction and also in the horizontal direction. So, this all the things we have covered on the basics of SCADA programming part 1. Okay. So, in this class we will go in depth of the SCADA programming in basic SCADA programming in our lecture part 2. Okay. So, here we will take another example. As you can see in figure, okay, we want our ball to move move in the stair form. Okay, means starting from 0 to 30 horizontal, then from 30 to 60 vertical, then again from 60 to 100. Okay. Initially in the previous class we have learned how we can move the ball in vertical or in horizontal, but here we will learn how we can move any ball or any you can say any component both in horizontal or in vertical direction. Okay. So, as you can see here I did a slider and a red ball with the position 0, 30, 60 and 100. And I want to again repeat the thing that if you want to check the status of any component, you have to include the hash. Okay. So, here we have included an hash for the slider. So, when you click on the hash, a property window will appear and you can set the properties there. Okay. So, here first we have drawn the program, we have selected the first red ball at 0 position. Okay. Here when you click on the first ball at the 0 position, this window will appear. Got it? Here you can see in the location, since we want our ball to move both in vertical horizontal, we have to check or we have to select both locations. Okay. But there is one more thing which is new for this example is the visibility. Why we have added this visibility term? Because you have to keep in mind that for a ball, first our ball is moved from 0 to 30 and then it will move to vertical 30 to 60. Then to again move the ball from 60 to 100 in horizontal, we have to select another ball. Got my point? For the first ball, you have to move it horizontal 0 to 30 and 30 to 60 vertical. But to again move in horizontal position, you have to add another ball. Okay. So, what we want when the another ball appears at the location 60, we want that our first ball should disappear. Got my point? Until the first ball is moving from 0 to 30 to 60, second ball will not visible. Okay. In the process there is only one ball, but while simulation or while the programming we need two balls. Got my point? Since the first ball will only move from 0 to 30 and 30 to 60, and for another vertical and horizontal motion we need to add another ball. Okay, and second, the point the thing which we have added is the visibility. What is the role of visibility in this program? While when the first ball is moving from 0 to 30 to 30 to 60, the second ball should not be visible. Okay, and when the second ball is moving from 60 to 100, the first ball should not be visible. So for this, in the properties we are using the visibility, we have to check the visibility option. Got my point? So when you click on the horizontal motion properties, this window will appear. In that we have to set the values. Okay, so for the slider value 0 to 30, we want our ball to move horizontal 0 to 200. What is the 200? 200 is the step or the coordinate you want to move your ball in the horizontal. Got my point? So 200 is the x coordinate or the number of steps you want your product, or here is the ball which you want to move. Okay, so here we have put 0 to 200. So while you move your slider from 0 to 30, ball will move from 0 to 200, or it will take 200 steps in the x direction, like we did in the previous examples. Okay. Next, about the vertical properties. Now for 0 to 30, we want our ball to move in the x direction. Okay. Then we want our ball to move up. Okay, to 60. So what we will put values for the slider from 30 to 60. Okay, we want the vertical motion from 0. X is at this, the y is 0, we want our ball to move upward. Upward means the y direction, the vertical direction. So here we will put from 0 to 200 y steps. So 200 is the coordinate in the y direction. Okay. So while you do this, while you move from 30 to 60, your ball will move up and will take 200 steps in the up direction or the y direction. Okay. Now for the visibility. As I have said, when the first ball is visible till it moves from 0 to 30 and 30 to 60. Okay. So we have checked here expression, you can check the expression. Since the tag name of the slider is SL, we have learned in the previous lecture how you can enter the tag name. So in the previous example we have learned that we have tagged the slider with the SL. So here in the expression we have to set the expression when the slider value is greater than equal to 0 and slider value is less than equal to 60. Okay, and function means both conditions should be satisfied. Means when the slider value is more than 0 or equal to 0 till your slide and your slider value will when less than or equal to 60. So from the range 0 to 60, when you move your slider, your ball will be visible. Got it? Here in the window you can see there is also a visible state off. So here it gives us freedom when you want your ball to not visible or to off the visibility of your product or ball. Okay, so it depend upon your condition or your requirement or need. Here we have set for the visible state when we want our ball to visible on the screen or on the window. Okay, so for that we have put 0 to 60 value of our slider. And if you want the off, then when you don't want your ball to visible, you first select the off and then you can put the expression there. It's easy, it's a similar way. Okay. Now for the second ball, when you will click on the second ball, this detail or property window will appear. Okay. Here also you can check vertical and horizontal location, but you can check see in the previous figure that we only want a horizontal direction. So here we have only selected the horizontal. Again you can check if there is again a staircase, then you can also add the vertical. So according to the problem, according to the example, according to the need of the application, you can add more steps in your program. Okay, but in the given figure, in the simple example, we have taken the second ball should move only from 60 to this value, 60 to 100. So here we have only selected the horizontal value here, but we also selected the visibility property. Okay, now for the horizontal movement, in the expression we have only selected the SL. Okay, and then from the value what we want, 60 to 100 means when the when your slider will move from 60 to 100, the ball will cover 0 to 310 steps there. Whatever the location of your ball is, it will consider at a 0. Okay, and then from that location it will move to the 310 steps. Keep this in mind, it is a 0 means not the x location coordinate value, no, whatever it will be the location, x location or current location of your ball, it will select it as a 0, consider it as a 0, and from that initial location it will move 310 steps. So whatever will be the location of your ball, from that position it will cover 310 steps, but it is horizontal, so it will cover 310 steps in the horizontal way or in the x way. Got it? So when you move your slider from 60 to 100, your ball will move from 0 to 310. Got it? Okay. Now what we want, when we want our ball to be the visible. Okay. So in the initial form, when 0 to 30 to 0 to 60, we want our first ball to appear. We have just seen how we can make that, the expression for that, and now for 60 to 100 only we want our second ball to appear. Okay. So when you will click that, this window will appear on the visibility, object visibility, and here we have set the expression when SL is greater than equal to 60 and SL is less than equal to 100. So between the range 60 to 100, your ball will appear or visible state is on. Got it? So now just after you complete the setting or set the properties, click on the runtime. Your program will convert from development window to the runtime window. Okay, and you can move. You can see here in the first figure, when the slider is at 0, ball is at 0. Okay, when the slider is changed from 0 to 30 position, the ball is moving forward. When it is 15 in the block, you can see that the status of the slider is 15. The ball is at the midway between 0 to 30. When it is a 41, the ball is between the 30 to 60 level. Okay, and you can see here that the second ball is not visible. When your ball will this ball will reach 60, then the second ball will appear. Okay, according to our visibility expression. So when the SL is 60, then the ball is at the top. Now from here, when you move your ball to 100 or when you change your slider position to 100, the ball will go to the last position or the 100 position, and here the second ball is visible and the first ball is invisible or visibility is off. Got it? So that's by this way we can add both horizontal and the mover ball in the vertical position. Okay. Next we will take another example. How you can see this triangular shape. First here we want our ball to move from A to B and then B to C. Till now we have learned how we can move in the vertical or in the horizontal direction. But here now we can see if you want to make your ball to move in a ramp, okay, or in a slider, how you can set the programming or how you can do the programming. Got my point? Here our target is to move the ball from A to B, then from B to C. Again here the same process, how you can select the slider, then you have to include the hash to set the properties. You have to add two balls. First ball will move from A to B and the second ball will move from B to C. And same visibility expression we want. When the first ball is visible, is moving from A to B, second ball at B will be disappear or will not be visible. And when the second ball is moving from B to C, the first ball at A will not be visible. Okay, got the aim what we are going to do. We want our ball to move from A to B and B to C, and during the A to B duration or the location, first ball will appear and during the B to C location the second ball will appear and the first ball will get disappear, or you can say will not be visible. Okay. Now, how we can do the programming? So, select the first ball. When you will select the first ball, this property window will appear. Here we can again the same properties, we will select the vertical, horizontal and visibility. But here the thing is, we have to move our ball in the slider position or in the ramp. So, here till now we are only doing either moving in horizontal, then either we are moving in a vertical. But here we have to move simultaneously in both the direction, then only our ball will move in a ramp. Got it? If till in the previous examples we have seen how to move in vertical, then in horizontal, then in vertical. At one point only it is moving in one direction only. But for the slider or the ramp motion or like a triangle motion, we have to move our ball simultaneously in both the direction. Means simultaneously it should move vertical also and horizontal also, then only it will move like a ramp or like a slideway. Okay, got it. So, here we have selected the vertical, the horizontal and the visibility is also turned on or checked. After that, for the horizontal location at the left end, for 0 to 50 slider location motion, we want horizontal movement to 0 to 200 steps in the x direction. Okay. For when you move your slider to 0 to 50, the ball will move in the x direction 0 to 200. And in the vertical properties, like you can see, for the same 0 to 50 slider motion, we have moved our ball from 0 to 200. Till now in the previous example, we are setting the different value for the slider 50 to 100 like this. But in this example, if you want both horizontal and vertical motion on a given slider movement, here you have to set for the same values, you have to set both horizontal and both vertical motion. So, for 0 to 50, we want 0 to 200 motion steps in the horizontal, and same for the 0 to 50, we want 0 to 200 steps in the vertical direction. So, when I move my slider from 0 to 50, my ball will move 200 steps both in vertical and horizontal direction. Okay. Next, the visibility option. Okay. So, when you select on the visibility, what we want for slider motion 0 to 50 only the first ball will be visible. So, we will set the condition slider or the tag name of slider should be greater than equal to 0 and slider should be less than equal to 50. Okay. So, when this condition is satisfied or true, then my ball will be visible. Other than this expression, my ball will not be visible. Got it? Now, for the second red ball, here also we will select both the vertical location and the horizontal location, and we will also check the visibility option. Okay. Now, for the second ball, we here we have done the programming for our ball to move from A to B. Now, we want to be from downfall from B to C. So, for the first slider for 0 to 50, we want our ball to move from or to take the jump from or to rise from 0 to peak B. Now, we want our ball, we will do the programming for our ball to fall from B peak to C. Okay. So, here when we move our slider from 50 to 100, we want the horizontal location to 0 to 200. So, when you are 50, it will be at the ball will be at your initial position only, and when it is 100, your ball will reach to the 200 steps. Got it? Now, for the vertical properties, same values, for the same values top and bottom of the slider 50 and 500, the vertical motion will be 0 to 200. So, when you move your slider from 50 to 100, your ball will move from 0 or whatever will the initial location of your ball to the 200 steps. Got it? Okay. So, next for the visibility option, we want my ball will appear only when the slider will move from 50 to 100 or my ball will move from B position to C position. Okay. So here we want when SL slider value is greater than 50 and slider value is less than 100, for this AND condition only my second ball will be visible. You can check for the second ball this condition is false, because for the first ball visibility we have checked when the SL value is less than equal to 50. So, for the 0 to 50 range first ball will be visible, and for the 50 to 100 range second ball will be visible. Okay. I think it should be clear to you. Okay. So, here is the output window. After completing same steps, after completing the properties or setting the properties programming, when you will click on the runtime window, and your window will convert from development window to the runtime window, and this will be appear. Okay. Now, when the slider is at 0 position, your ball is at A. When slider is at 14, your ball is between A to B. Okay. And when the slider is at 50, the ball is at your B position. Okay. And here when we move our slider from 0 to 100, between 0 to 100, you can see our slider value is at 81, our ball is somewhere between B to C. Here you can check, here the first ball is not visible, this is our second ball which is visible. Got it? So, when the slider ball is at 100, our ball reaches the position C. So, in this program what we learn, how we can move our ball in a ramp or in a triangular manner. Okay. So, in which we have to move our ball both in vertical and horizontal motion simultaneously. Okay. Okay, good. So, now let us understand another properties. Okay. Now, we will discuss about the touch push button. So, here you can see I have selected the 4 buttons: direct, reverse, toggle, set, reset, and I have added 4 indicators with that. Okay. So, how you can select the button? You can see in the development window at the right side panel, at the bottom you can see the box where I have made an arrow. Here you can see when you click this box will appear, and you can name it as a direct, reverse, toggle and set, reset. When you click on the direct, this object properties window will appear. Okay. So, here I have selected the discrete value for the, you can see the touch push buttons value. Okay. So, here you can choose the discrete value, action, show window, hide window. Here I have selected the discrete value. Okay. When you will select the discrete value, you will also ask to add the tag name. Okay. For this you have to add the tag name, whatever name you want to add here. Actions, there are the 4 actions you can see: the direct, the reverse, the toggle, the reset and the set. For the first I have selected the direct value, and I have also labeled it as the direct. Okay. So, you can see in the 4 options you will get for a button. Okay. And for the tag name what I have entered as an SW, we will use this tag name for connections. Okay. So, in the first tag name when you will click, it will ask you for the expressions of for the light wizard. Okay. I have again I am reminding you that for all these buttons I have added an indicator. So, when you click on this light indicators, it will open the light wizard, which here where you can add the expression. Okay. Here I want my light indicator to directly link with the first switch, okay, the direct switch, and I have put the tag name of that switch as SW. So, here I have added the SW in the expression. Okay. You can also choose the fill color. When it is off, it will be red. When it is on, it will be green, and you can also select the blink properties here. Got it? Okay. So, then this is the property. My first B button, when you will change the status to programming mode to running mode, the first button will behave as a push button. Okay. So, when we press the direct button and hold, then my first light will turn on. Okay. Got my point? So, when we are pressing the direct button, okay, the light will turn on, and when you are not pressing your direct button, the light will get off. Similarly, what will be for the reverse process? The second button is behave as a reverse. which means by the name indicate when it's on light will be off and when it is off light will be on. Okay, so when the off light will be on, when it is on light will be off, means just reverse. In the toggle button when you will see in the toggle button, when it is on my output will be on and when it is off my light will be off, like we use in our daily home appliances, just the on off condition. When I press it, my output will keep remain on, and when I press it off, my light will keep turning, will keep in the off state. Okay. The last condition is the set reset. When I press it set, my light will be on, and when I press reset, my light will turn off. Okay. So, here we have learned about the 4 push buttons options: the direct property, the reverse property, the toggle action and the reset and set action. And there one more thing which is very important, that it is generally asked in the interviews that why we are not used the toggle buttons in the industry purpose or in the plant area or in the industry, why the toggle buttons are not so used, or why the push start and push start stop buttons are used. So, okay, so the answer is because, for example, in our home we generally use the toggle buttons, okay, like our fan and our refrigerator. We want a continuous operation. For like consider the example of your refrigerator. For example, you have turned your refrigerator on, okay, and when there is a power cut. So, what will happen? Since your switch is on, the power is on, so there is no electricity, your device will off. But when the power automatically comes back, so since your toggle switch is in the on condition, your fridge will turn on itself. You don't need to on it again. It turns on automatically when the power comes back, like a fan and a fridge. You don't have the control to turn it on and off. When the power came back, it automatically turns on. But think the case in the industry. For example, the power button is there is a power failure, or everything is stopped, and you are doing the maintenance. Suddenly the power came back. So, what will happen? Your factory or the components will start working. The motor will turn on. So, and even your maintenance is turned on the process. So, what will happen? It will lead to the fatal accidents, or it is very risk factor for the industries. So, here where there is you want the controlling, there in that cases, so in that application we use the push start and stop buttons, and here in the applications where you don't need the controlling, where there we use the toggle. So, for the safety and for the controlling power, we use the push start and stop buttons in the industries. Okay, got it? So, now we will learn about another properties, the object size properties, how we can change the object size. Okay. So, for here you can say I have designed a slider with a hash to see the status of the slider, and there is a one box black, as you can see the blue color box here. Okay. So, we have to interlink both this slider with the box. So, how we can do that? When you click on the slider option, or you have to give the tag name SL, okay, and when you click on the blue box, a window will appear. Okay. Here we will learn another property which is called, you can see here the object size. We have already learned about the location, we have already learned about the visibility. Now we have already learned about the touch push buttons. Now we will learn about the object size properties. Okay. Here, so we will learn about the object size properties, the height and the width. Okay. So, we will select first the width. So, when you select the width, the expression will be same SL, and from 0 to 100 the minimum width will be 10, because if you put it 0 it will become invisible. So, the minimum width we have taken 10 and the maximum width we have taken 100. Then it will also gives you freedom anchoring, the anchor property, whether you want to change the size from the left side, and whether you want to change the size from the center, whether you want to change the size from the right. So it also allows you, gives you freedom to change or shift the size from center, right or left. Okay. So here after clicking on the OK, in this case you can see that I have selected the left in the action and we have selected the left. So when we move, okay, when we move our slider 0, my box is at 10% initially. So whatever will be the size of the box, initially when our slider is 0, the box width is reduced to 10% of the actual width of the box. Okay, and when I keep increasing my slider and move it upward towards the 100, my box width will change from left, because in the action I have selected the left. Okay, got it. So and now if you here in the action, if you select the right, the ball will change its size, or the size will change from the right side. If you select from the center, then it will expand from the center, similar. Okay. So you can set anything, left, right or center. Now we will take another option. Okay. If you want the property, or if you want to look like a door is opening, okay, and the door is closing, how we can do that? So for this I have selected two boxes with my slider, and same time to the hash value I have also included the hash value to display the slider value. Okay. For the first box I have selected the width, we want to change the width. If you want to change the height, you have to select the height option. Currently we are changing the width. Okay. Both things are possible. If you want to change the width like the open close, you can do. If you want the shrink and compress, you can change the height. Okay. So here we have selected the width. Okay. So first for 0 to 100, similarly we want 10 to 100. Okay. For 0, when it will be 0, the minimum width will be 10, and when it is 100, maximum width will be 100, and the anchor position is at left. For the second box, same we want to change in the width, okay, but expression will be the same, slider position SL, and here 0 to 100, similarly we want to 10 to 100 change in the width from minimum to maximum, but here the anchor position is from the right. So we want to expand it from the right hand side or from the right side. Got it? So now when we after completing this, you same steps you have to follow. You have to select the run time. So your window will turn from programming mode to running mode. Then this type of output window will appear on your screen software. Okay. So when SL or slider is at 0 position, your both right and left box are at 10% of their initial width. You can clearly see in the figure. When your slider value is 50, so the left box, first box will change its size, okay, from left, while your second box will change its size or will expand its size from the right. Okay, so that they both will move, look like they both are moving closer. Got it? So now when both are the 100, so it will move to the maximum 100, and the second box will also move to the maximum 100, and it looks like the thing is closed. So like this you can also create the animation. Two things are far away, and through the slider motion you can make the things to come closer, or like a door like thing. Okay. So here we can see first box changes the width from the left, and the second box changes it from the right. Similarly, like I said, you can do for the height option also. Okay. So that's all for this lecture. In this lecture we have covered two things: how we can move the ball both in vertical and horizontal direction like a ramp move. Also we have learned how to make the things visible, okay, how you can add the visibility properties. Last also we have done the touch push button properties, and we have also covered how you can control or you can program the object size properties. Okay. So that's all for this class. In the next session we will explore more on the SCADA programming. Thank you. Happy learning.